At this point we save. Let's go work on outline. And here's things, when you work with watercolor, depend what kind of outline you want to use it. In many cases I find out if you're using ink pen or other ones, this work very good with this case. So that's what I probably will try to simulate some ink pen. But I'm going to use the watercolor brush for this as well, because in some cases you can kind of simulate with this. We can always go with a round pen or with multi-fiber as well, some add additional lines. But I think we're going just with watercolor as a test. That should work very good. Okay, right here we have our thickness, so I'm going to set for this purpose 3, probably just will work fine, and we'll just pop up slightly. Okay, on, so we have our thickness set. Opacity 1 is good. We want to color modification, use it material color, but we don't want too strong, so we'll go take a little bit down. Okay, and next let's go work on a line style, but line style I want it just slightly relaxed, not so strong. Okay, let me go modify. I'm going to actually pop up to 100 so I can preview. Go to material color, pop back to watercolor. I'll just bring this quite a bit stronger. So we can see outline effect a little bit better. Okay, so right here we can see it's a little bit noisy right on the edge, but again, if it goes small, it won't be that visible. So we'll go, let's go down to 3 again. Okay, right here I also see the color apply a little bit too strong, so we'll go to material color and reduce more, so it's become a little bit darker. Okay, at this point we can go and modify a little bit thickness of the stroke. I want kind of go smoother to the end, so this way it's a thickness, and we'll go to along the stroke. Go right here, edit filter, and we'll go bring this to the middle. Okay, and I'm going to switch this, let's multiply, so we can go just stroke will decreasing this way. Okay, and another way we can go to subtract, will go opposite way. Okay, so right here let's go to edit filter. Actually I'll bring this one up because I want opposite end. I'll just take this a little bit down. Okay, so right here you can see our strokes going, and preview, it's kind of give it this nice line strokes, almost look like somebody take a pen and just like drawing them out. Okay, let's introduce a little bit of the noise to this, and I don't want too high noise. Okay, just a little bit. There you go. So you can see in a second it's kind of will start add a little bit, not so straight line, maybe a little bit too much, so I'm going to reduce string, so we have it a little bit better on the noise. Okay, you can see right here we can start kind of breaking them. Okay, we're gonna come back after and maybe modify. In some cases opacity we can do along the trunk, same things we can, you know, just be sure. Take one right here, just similar what we did it. Again, this is effect, so just reduce some of this opacity slightly more. Okay, and then next, okay, right here. So done this, let's go back to our line style, and I'm going to add a little bit more relax and breaking angle, so we'll start detecting kind of line instead. Maybe it's a little bit too relaxed, so let's bring it back. And other things, okay, maybe even less. I want to use the actual overstroke, so let's go enable this, and right here edge you will see how it will start like almost you were sketching and stroke out slightly. Okay, this has look very nice overstroke. However, let's add a little bit more lines, and we'll go inside the line cloning. So we enable like cloning in this case, and I will increase quantity a little bit more on those lines. Currently they're kind of overlay, so we want to offset them by changing a little bit the rotation. So I'm going to pop up rotation up, increasing, and maybe increasing a little bit on the noise and displacement. Okay, as preview right here, you can see we have quite a bit of displacement going on line, maybe even a little bit too much. So let's go bring them back a little bit. Here we go, just pop up a little bit more trimming. Let's add way higher noise. See that will add a little bit more randomness to us. As well, I want to take thickness, increase attenuation, and noise to that. So we'll start having all these uneven lines a little bit more. Okay, and because I want to preserve some of these original lines, so what I want to do, I want to take opacity. Okay, I want to reduce this opacity, and we'll go to our outline, and I want to pop up this just a little bit higher. So we kind of start having all these lines a little bit visible. Again, maybe it's a little bit too much. Take off opacity, just bring it back. Okay, and add a little bit more quantity of the lines. So we keep them together a little bit more. Okay, it seems like more sketch. Let's look on the line distortions, and just a couple of things I want to add. So we'll enable a little bit of the point of displacement, so we'll leave it as default. Okay, and also geometry morphing just a little bit on an angle, so I want to just add a little bit random. Maybe this is quite a bit strong, so let's go to take way down. And as well, we want to wavelength strong. Let's edit this filter and just add a couple kind of deformations going in this area. Okay, this add, you can see kind of like flex move to our lines. So we have kind of a round going, a little bit more interesting effect, I think. Okay, here's the other things. As abstract royal, it's probably will be okay. We can try to go ahead with this and see. Preview window is not necessarily represent of resolution when we render. So we want to render, apply to this after, and see and tweak that way. Right here you can modify. For example, if you think it's too big portions, hard to see details, you can go and adjust the thickness value, just reducing. So even reducing by 150 and increasing our quantity modifier maybe to 10, you'll see we'll start having a little bit more details on the shape of the objects. So at this point, when you're done, I do recommend save. Let's go ahead and save our work, and we can apply to our render and see what we have at this point. Okay, to do this, we'll go to render, and I'm going to render a little bit higher resolution, at least final for the purpose of this tutorial. Okay, before also I do this, I want to be sure my main camera is open, and I want to apply non-photorealistic render. You can also select from the custom or already predefined. So as we can, for example, blue effect, and we can see you can modify after you render to different type as well. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to render, pause this tutorial, and come back when the render is completed. Right here, our render completed. You see is non-photorealistic. It's a blueprint, and one thing what I want to show with this, notice how thin light here, but how much we have on our tree. So it's different sometimes from what you see in preview from what the real render. Okay, let's go ahead. If you click OK, this is preview. If you need to modify to what we created and it's nice things, you don't need to re-render again. Just go ahead, open. We'll go to click edit. Let's go to pre-open, and right here I have one that created tutorials. We'll go apply these. So right here it's finished updating. Now let's look right here. We have it loose lines, and you can see how we created same like on the leaves. But overall, okay, let me go click OK right here. You can see our sun kind of big lines. It's something what from maybe watercolor or kind of gouache, but outline it's what try to achieve. And you can see how it's a little bit different look from what preview. So sometimes you want to go back and forth preview and see how it will look on both ways. Right this line, I maybe want to switch a little bit directions for so it will be softer on the end and kind of just reverse them or multiply if I want to apply it, but it still be even look nicer this way. Same like right, the trunk will look very good right here. The trees overall, because the outline and leaves, they will always give you this kind of messy somewhat look. So when you play, kind of take attention on this, or you want one single object, so you won't have too many these kind of lines from the leaves that applied. But overall, right here we have this effect applied. Try to play kind of with watercoloring, and I hope you're enjoying this tutorial and push you in a way to more explore with a new non-photorealistic render from the VU 2015.